Hello and welcome to this Ferris State University men's basketball NCAA tournament preview. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Rob Bentley, joined by Sandy Gholston. As we get set for tomorrow's NCAA Division II Midwest Regional, the Ferris State Bulldogs taking on the Findlay Oilers. Sandy, great to be back here in the NCAA tournament after it was cut short a couple years ago. The Bulldogs, another opportunity here this season.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are back in familiar territory here. When you think about March Madness, one of the things as a fan of Ferris State basketball, you think of the Bulldogs playing this time of the year with everything at stake. So that's what the NCAA tournament is all about, and the Bulldogs are definitely happy to be back after a hiatus of more than a couple years, considering that we weren't able to play in 2020. So this is a big homecoming, I think, for the Bulldogs to be back on the NCAA court.
The Bulldogs at 21-8 overall coming into the NCAA tournament, looking to bounce back after a tough loss in the opening round of the conference tournament.
Yeah, I think that's a pill that sits pretty bitter in the Bulldogs' mouths right now when they think of that tough exit right there, 1 point game as the number 1 seed. They're ready to come back. They're ready to atone. We've had a chance to watch a little bit of practice, and I think they're much more focused right now and ready to go. You know, when it's the NCAA tournament, it's one and done, so there's no tomorrow, so it's going to be important for the Bulldogs to get it done right from the start.
The Bulldogs tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 tip here at Walsh University inside Alumni Arena. They'll take on a familiar opponent in the Findlay Oilers. This will be the third consecutive NCAA tournament in which the Bulldogs and the Oilers have met.
Yeah, we were talking about the GMAC conference and a lot of familiar faces with the GMAC conference. When you talk about competing against the GLIAC, a lot of former GLIAC members, including the University of Findlay. Bulldogs over the years have had a lot of great battles with the University of Findlay, and I think both teams, both programs, proud traditions, they expect much more of the same in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Bulldogs and the Oilers met earlier this season with Findlay winning the matchup down at Croy Gymnasium. It was early on in the year, and both teams have certainly changed a lot since that initial meeting here of the season.
Yeah, I think both teams really embrace tough scheduling. They embrace the tough competition and how it builds you to be successful in your conference play. Early season games sometimes don't necessarily mean as much because the teams can change so much over the course of the year. And I think both the Oilers and the Bulldogs, they feel like they've changed, they feel like they've improved, and they're going to be playing their best basketball coming into the NCAA tournament. So there's definitely some familiarity from that first meeting, but there was familiarity even before that. So both teams have had a taste of each other. They'll look at some mutual film, some mutual opponents, and they'll try to come up with the best strategy that's going to help them advance to the second round.
Both Ferris State teams in action here in the NCAA Regional, only about an hour apart as the Ferris State women will take on, of course, Ashland University. Harrison Watt will have all the live action for you. Ferris State women's basketball will have the call of the men's game starting at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and obviously great opportunity for both Ferris State teams to move on here in the national tournament.
Yeah, when you think of that proud tradition and how few times that teams, both basketball teams from a university, are in the NCAA tournament, it's unfortunate that they're playing so close together in terms of the timing, but I think it's going to be a great opportunity for both of these teams. Proud traditions, looking to advance in the NCAA tournament. This is the time when you want to be playing your best basketball, and we saw the women pull off a great tournament championship victory against Grand Valley. They feel like they're in a good place going into the NCAA tournament, and the men feel like they're ready to bounce back from a tough setback in the opening round of the GLIAC tournament to make a nice run, hopefully, in the NCAA tournament.
Ferris State men making their 6th appearance here in the national tournament in the last 8 years. Sandy, what will it take for the Bulldogs to move on here to the regional semifinals?
Well, when you talk about the Bulldogs and the Oilers, Ferris and Findlay, you're talking about mental toughness. So it's going to be important for the Bulldogs to come in with a mentally tough attitude. They had a tough game in their last outing against Davenport. They want to erase that and get focused on the fundamentals that it's going to take for them to be successful. A lot of work on defense here today that we've seen so far, and they're also working on shooting. Shooting going to be very important as well. And so I think a big thing really is to come out mentally focused, mentally sharp, mentally prepared, and ready to go right from the jump, because you get too far behind in an NCAA tournament game, it's a bigger mountain to climb, and the Bulldogs do not want to climb that mountain. They want to make Findlay climb that mountain.
The Bulldogs getting ready to take on the Findlay Oilers. We'll have all the coverage for you on Friday afternoon starting at 2 o'clock. Listen live on Sunny 97.3 and online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com.